Hello, I'm going to tell you about Landfall, a game for 2 to 4 players that lasts about 45 to 60 minutes. And in this game, we are betting on the trajectory of hurricanes. We're going to place cubes to show where we think a hurricane is going to make landfall, and then we'll see through a system I call the disk drift system where it's actually going to hit. And the more accurate our prediction, the more points we're going to get. The game turn is very simple. It has 4 steps to it. The first is we spawn new hurricanes. If there is 0 or 1 hurricanes on the board currently, we create a new one, and I'm going to put a category 1 disc here. I'm going to pick this as the starting place, and I'm going to make up a name. I'll call this one Cleo. I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. And then the next step is to bet. So for a new hurricane, let's say I'm the red player, I'm going to put down these 2 cubes to show the range that I think the hurricane's going to fall in. And in future turns, I'll have a chance to modify that, but I want to try and get it somewhat right if I can. And then the third step in the turn is for the hurricanes to move. And we use this disk drift system where we use a card that says this hurricane is going to go right, and this number says it's going to grow. So it becomes a category 2, and I'm going to align the tail of the hurricane to the rightmost tip of the previous disk, and that's how the hurricane moves. And then the fourth step in the turn is landfall, which is scoring. When a hurricane does make landfall, that hasn't happened yet, so we're not going to do that. As I said, in future turns, you can move a cube 1 space, so you can update things a little bit. But let's show you how these hurricanes can go. So the next card says that this hurricane is going to turn right and then go straight. So that's what that one will do. And then we'll flip another card and see what it does. It says left, and it's going to grow into a category 3. And then the next card says it's going to go straight, and it's going to stay the same size. And then in the very next one, it's going to turn right and grow. And so we're going to get a glancing blow, but it did make landfall up here in the corner there. And so that's how that works. And now we would have scoring. If your cubes encompass the range where the hurricane hits, you get a 1, 2, 3, or 5x multiplier of the category of the hurricane. So the closer you were, the more points you get. So the 2 interesting and innovative ideas in this game, I think, are the spatial betting. Most betting games are either we're betting on horses or we're betting on stocks. Sort of betting over a physical range is kind of interesting. And then the disk drift itself is of course very interesting in the weird trajectories you can have. You can have hurricanes go out to sea. We've had hurricanes loop around the Florida coastline. I had one hurricane that made a beeline straight for New Orleans and never deviated. All sorts of different things can happen, and that's a great source of fun for players to just watch these unpredictable forces of nature as they go. Interaction comes mostly from the betting and the scoring, but there is an effect whereby if I move a cube onto the exact same range as another player, then that person gets 1 boost disc, which they can use in a future turn to get a free move. So it's a little bit of a reward for making a bet early on that other people later want to emulate. So this is a pretty quick, pretty simple game, but we've been having a lot of fun playing it, watching the hurricanes move and coming up with funny names and, just betting and going for it, making the big gutsy call. All these things are a lot of fun for players, and we hope you'll be interested to hear more about it, maybe give it a try. Thanks.